Jared Dillian. Own your money, own your life.
I'm Jared Dillian. This is the Jared Dillian Show. If you want to call to talk about your money, please call 844-305-7800. That's 844-305-7800. This is the Jared Dillian Show. I'm not what you would call an early adopter. By the way, I just ordered CDs. There's a Dutch DJ named Joris Voorn. He's a house DJ, and he's really, really good. I've seen him live. The guy was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable live. But he's a brilliant musician, and he probably puts together the best mixes of anybody out there. I mean, he'll use like bits and pieces of 200 different tracks to make a mix. It's crazy. Anyway, he has a new mix coming out on Global Underground, and instead of ordering it digitally, I ordered a CD, and I'm like, well, I'll just play it in my car. That's my only CD player at this point. You know, I'm still buying CDs. I'm not really an early adopter. I still have like 700 CDs in my house. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Nobody would buy them. I couldn't sell them for $20 altogether. So I might as well hang on to them. Years ago, I heard about this thing called Bitcoin. I was like, what is this? Blockchain, smart contracts, what is this stuff? And Bitcoin was trading around $100. And I was intrigued by it. And at the time, I said, you know, I should do some research on this. I should read up on Bitcoin. Maybe I'll buy some Bitcoin. Then I got busy with other stuff. And, you know, just life got in the way, and I never bought the Bitcoin. Big mistake. That's a retirement trade right there. Yep. One of my favorite sayings in finance is invest, then investigate. The first time you hear of an investment opportunity, the very first time, you should immediately buy it. You should buy it. Now that you have risk on, you will do the research. It's because of how information travels. And it also depends on your sources of information. If your sources of information are good, then there's a pretty good chance you're going to be early on a trade, and you'll make some money. If your sources of information are bad, like, hey, you heard about this Robinhood thing? I heard there's this, really cool thing called Robinhood. Like, that was yesterday, so you might have sources of it kind of depends on where you are in the information flow chart. But the point is that once you buy a stock, if you buy it, then you will do the research. If you say you're going to research it first, you'll never get around to doing the research, and you won't buy the stock, and then you'll miss out on it. This happens to me all the time. If I had just bought stocks, the minute I heard of the idea, I would be much richer, much richer. Instead, I have to think about it. I have to ruminate over it. Do I buy the stock? Do I not buy the stock? Time goes by. It's going up. And then I'm like, it's already moved. It's too late. I missed it. And then it goes up some more. It just happens all the time. Invest, then investigate. I highly recommend you do this. Invest, then investigate. A lot of people say that's irresponsible. You're telling people to invest without doing any research. Yes, you invest first, and then once you have risk on, you will be compelled to do the research. You will want to figure out what is going on with the stock. There is such a thing as paralysis by analysis. You're researching a stock, you're researching it, and you can't decide, and meanwhile, the stock is going up. Most people, not all people, some people know, but most people have pretty good instincts, and they just don't act on them. I have had a bunch of trades in my career where this has come in handy, and the perfect example was a stock called Kite Pharmaceuticals, which produced immunotherapy treatments. And I just bought, the first time I heard about it, I bought the stock, and then I did the research afterwards. I heard about the idea. I'm like, I don't know why everybody isn't buying the stock. This is a cure for cancer. It's actually curing cancer. Like, don't you think if there was a company that cured cancer, you would want to buy that stock? And I'm like, why does everybody not know about this? So I immediately bought the stock. Then I did a ton of research. It was called CAR T cell therapy that they were doing. I did a bunch of research on it, and then I was comfortable owning it. You know, and I bought the stock around 70, and the stock got bought by Bristol Myers at 180. It was one of my biggest winners of all time. If I waited, I wouldn't have made as much money. I would have said, well, it's already moved, too late. There's another concept we need to talk about. People go to invest in a stock, it's already gone up, and they say, I missed it. I missed it are the three most dangerous words in the English language. Okay. And I have a lot to say about this. We don't have all day, but if you look at a chart of a stock and the stock is going up, the line is going from the lower left to the upper right. And as you look at the chart of the stock, the line is all the way up in the upper right-hand corner. And you say, well, I can't buy the stock because it's on the highs. I'll wait for a pullback. And people are just plagued with self-doubt. They're like, I can't buy this. It's because basically it's like at the top of the screen. It would have to go above the screen. But if you scaled it out, the stock can go much higher. It's like saying, like when Apple was like $60, you say, I can't buy it. It's on the highs. And the self-doubt part is you say, well, as soon as I buy it, it's going to go down. And you just have to believe in trends, you know? If the stock I missed it, are the three most dangerous words in the English language. If this is really a good idea, it's going to go up a lot more. Just because it went up 10% doesn't mean you missed out on the trade. You know, Bitcoin. You might say that I missed it. A lot of people are telling me that I am still early. I'm still early in Bitcoin, and they might be right. Who knows? Maybe you're still early on Facebook or anything else. People do not have a big enough imagination. I have a pretty big imagination when it comes to macro stuff, like the deficit or the Canadian dollar or stuff like that. Again, the first time you hear about something, you should invest in it. Then go do your research. You should have a bias to action. The conventional wisdom is that you should think before you act, but not in this case. I'm Jared Dillian. This is The Jared Dillian Show.
Jared Dillian. Own your money, own your life.